Hey guys, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Player 707, and I wanted to do something a little different today. I wanted to show you guys a replay against another yugituber, a guy I really like, Slacker Magician. And this was kind of a mirror match, but he was playing Super Quantum Monarchs, and I was playing the Zaborg Monarchs. So it's kind of a mirror match, but not really. And it was a really intense game, so I was going to give you guys some commentary on how the game went down. Um, Obviously, if you look at this hand, I opened shit, complete shit. He's got a Monarch, he's got idea, he's got plays, but let's just get into it right now. Um, I do the only thing I can do is try and thin my deck a little bit and hopefully set some bluffs and see if he's going to fall for him. He doesn't fall for him. He goes immediately after me. No fear of the back row. And I'm at a disadvantage right here. And this game was long and it was intense, man. It was a really good game. He gets his Super Quantum, gets to add the field spell, gets to go for Grand Pulse. Doesn't decide to take out any of my back row, which I don't know about that. But here's the idea again. I ran out of, as you can see, hold on. The reason that I went for Escher, which I don't even run Escher anymore, but the reason I went for Escher is because, as you can see, I have one Eidos banished, one Eidos in hand, and I believe the other one, well, the other one's not engraved. I thought I ran out at this point. Maybe I just didn't see it, or maybe I was only running two. I don't know, but I I only needed one tribute for Aether. I had the Monarch Stormforth. Um, I have the original Monarch that I'm activating right now to put two spells back and draw one. Um, and this most people use the original Monarch as just a monster. You discard it, and then you special summon it as a monster. But its other effect came in really clutch in this match. So anyway, he goes to destroy the original Monarch. I use its effect before he can destroy it. And really, I didn't go for Aether. Okay. Well, right now, I guess I'm just trying to get to my Zaborg combo. Because I was really trying to troll him in this match. But he's going the fuck off. I realize he's going to try and summon Magnus. Uh, I thought that Mobius, hold on, now I thought Mobius would trigger. When this card is tribute summoned, you can target two cards on the field and destroy them. But because it was in a chain, it didn't happen when it was tribute summoned, so it didn't get its effect. So I was going to try and destroy the Magna carrier, the ship, but he had another one, and I didn't know that. But here we go again. I try to negate the field. He has another one. Then he goes for Soul Charge, and he gets Magnus on the field, which the Magnus, if you don't know what Magnus does, I'll go over Magnus for a minute. Alright, let's look at Magnus. He has all kinds of effects. If he has two or more different names attached to him, during either player's main phase, you can detach one material from this card, shuffle one card on the field into the deck. Doesn't target, spins the card. Four or more, it's unaffected by card effects, except Super Quant cards. And then six or more, your opponent can't add cards from their deck to their hand except by card effects. So all my draw power is really useless. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different names attached to him. So I can draw. So I can't add cards to my hand, but he's unaffected and he can spin a card at any time. So I got Zaborg on the field. He used Soul Charge, so he couldn't attack into Zaborg. Zaborg goes back into my hand. I have my combo, but it really does nothing for me at this point. So I'm hoping that he doesn't spin Zaborg. He doesn't. Zaborg goes back to my hand. I'm drawing Necros pieces for my Necros combos. The only way I can get over Magnus at this point is for the field to take him out. I'm trying to bait him out with these plays, trying to get him to spin something besides for Magnus or the field, or besides for Zaborg or the field. But he spins the field back. And basically all I can do is try and draw out of this. So I use Valk's effect to draw. Back to his turn. I'm trying to give him more targets to spin back into the deck. I don't want him to spin my Monarchs. He ends up just tributing off my Zaborg, which wasn't good for me. I draw to Ether. Ether gets me Domain again. I'm just trying to crash his Magnus this whole time. Again, I go for Landro because I have no more Eidos in my deck. And he spins the field spell again at that point. But he's running out of materials. So I'm just basically trying to stay alive. And if you see the deck count, I'm at 10 and he's at 13 right now. He does. This is where he makes his first misplay of the game, I think. He ran out of targets for Idea to summon in his deck, Idea, whatever you want to call it, and he didn't know that. So he normal summons, and he doesn't get the effect to special summon, to get another tribute, to get red layer on the field. To add back a card. I mean, he had a really good combo that he was going for, and he just ran out of targets for Edea. So, and at this point, he's only got 4 materials on Magnus, and we're talking about who's going to deck out first, and he thinks he's going to deck me out in this match, which was very possible. But here we go. He attacks over. I tribute summon on his turn. My return goes off, adding Zaborg. Aether summons Erebus. I get a trade in, which I foolish burial Idea to get the field back out of the banished zone. I know Magnus is unaffected still at this point, so I can't get rid of him. Still trying to get that field spell. He keeps on spinning the field spell, so I can't crash him. I'm down to 4 cards in deck, and he's sure that he's going to deck me out at this point, which he legit should have decked me out at this point. Clears my field. I have no Monarchs, 5 cards in the deck. And I draw into Domain. I have basically no plays, but he's affected now. So I flip him face down just to get 1 monster on the field. I got Eidos back in my deck by using Psyframe Omega. I sent Psyframe Omega from my extra deck to my graveyard, and then I recycled 1 Eidos back into my deck, which made the Idea play live. So I get to summon Erebus, and Idea is going to add me back the field spell. Still too much defense for me to attack over, and this is where it gets really interesting, because since I have the original Monarch, at this point I can keep on using its effect to give me basically double the turns that I would have had, because I can send 2 cards from my graveyard, 2 spell cards, back to my deck and then draw 1. And basically that gives me another turn of drawing, even though I'm only at 6 cards. So he goes for idea and the trap. He's gonna get rid of my Erebus again. He's got a lot of board presence. I draw into the Monarch Stormforth, and I shuffle in 2 cards, and I draw the field spell. I use that last idea. I tribute off, finally get rid of the Megazord, which is amazing that I lived long enough with Megazord on the field, Magnus, lived long enough with Magnus on the field to actually get this playoff. But Zaborg's effect is going to tribute a monster on the field. I'm going to tribute his monster just because my deck is pretty much run out of steam at this point, and I'm just trying to get to the finish. But add another card back to hand. I've got Escalation. I've got the Monarch Stormforth, so when he summons something, I can tribute off his monster. And that's a big chain, but basically I'm drawing and I'm tributing off his monster. And Erebus is going to spin a card from hand because I didn't want him to have something to tribute, but he had something to tribute anyway. And it's so close at this point. Again, sending more cards. Spinning back his trap. I can't attack over his ship. But I have 1 card left in deck now. I bumped it up to 3 and I draw 1. And his deck is pretty much out of steam at this point too. But I can send a spell to my grave. I finally draw into this field spell, and now my attack is big enough to get over his big guys. But he's got an Erebus, and this is his other misplay, which he summons Erebus, but he doesn't have any spell and traps left in his deck to send to get Erebus's spin effect. So all he can do is crash my Erebus at this point, which he does. Gets rid of my Erebus. He's at 400 life points left. And then he starts recycling his graveyard. But that's it. That's the end of the game. It was a really hard, long game, but it was a lot of fun. If you guys have never seen Slacker Magician's YouTube channel or his Twitch, I encourage you guys to go over and follow, check him out. He's a really cool guy. His streams are really fun. Yeah, this was probably the most intense match of Yu-Gi-Oh that I've ever had. Like, I was about to deck out for at least 5 turns, and I just barely kept on coming back. And getting over Magnus was a hell of a job. He sat on Magnus for a long time, and he would not spin things. I was trying to get him to spin anything with the field spell, but he kept on waiting for the field spell to come out because he knew that was my only out to his monster. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you like this video. I hope you like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.